What's up, everybody? Welcome to Travel Tips Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. If you are here, please let me know you're here by just saying hey in the comments. That would be awesome. Also, would love to hear from you. There's going to be a little bit of interaction. Apologize for the craziness going on in my office. It's a little bit more unkempt than it normally is. But tonight is a very special episode on Travel Tips Tuesday. First of all, let's go ahead and get our little roll started here. Tonight, it is April the 15th, 2025. Yes, it is tax day. Congratulations, everybody paying your dues to the IRS. Hope you're having fun with that. Or if you've had to file an extension, congratulations on that as well. You know, sometimes we have to delay the inevitable. But tonight, we are going to talk all about all-inclusive travel with my friend Joseph from ALG Vacations. He is a fantastic individual that loves serving other people and loves to make sure that our guests and clients at Travelmation specifically have all the tools that they need to have a successful trip, to connect with what matters most. And we're just going to kind of answer some general questions about all-inclusive travel and just kind of banter back and forth just a little bit. But in the meantime, our question of the day is this: what do you want to know about all-inclusive travel? If you've never been on one, never been on an all-inclusive trip, you may have some questions. You may be curious as to what it's like to go with families or as a couple, or maybe by yourself, or planning a destination wedding or some sort of corporate or group event. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. There's all sorts of different destinations to pick from that may work for you. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring my buddy Joseph on with me here. Joseph, welcome to Travel Tips Tuesday. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, John, I got your walk-up music still playing in my ear.
It's pretty epic, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it's good.
Oh, fair
Good to
enough.
see
All
you,
right.
man.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always
Likewise.
telling you the truth.
We'll go with it here, for sure. But thank you for taking the time on a Tuesday night. I know this is
And we are live, folks.
Yes, we
We're
are
not
live.
piggybacking
We're
around. We're not
live
doing this like
on.
recorded stuff in the middle of the workday. No, we are live.
Yes, this is legit live at 8:37 p.m. Central Time. But yeah, so we're going out to Facebook, the Travel Tips Tuesday YouTube page, and also my LinkedIn page. I've been playing around a little bit with going live on LinkedIn since that's a thing now.
What about
But
your? Do you have the one? Oh shoot, I don't even remember the name of that. What's that old social media thing that all the old people are
what,
on?
MySpace?
Yeah.
I think it still exists, sort of, but that's I never really dug deep into that. So I've been on
No,
Facebook
don't
way too
start
long.
that. Don't. I mean, if you're gonna dig deep, dig into travel, my friend. That is
Uh,
the place to be, the where to go.
100%, 100%. So Joseph, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, what you represent, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah. Hey, my name's Joseph, and I live in Wisconsin actually, and I am the business development manager for ALG Vacations, which means I just get to work with awesome travel advisors like John and his colleagues. I get to help them and grow their business with our land, air, travel insurance, excursion packages that we put together. We're the full package company that works directly with travel advisors, and I got about 8,000 travel advisors that are underneath me, at least that have a login to our system that I kind of represent and want to make sure that I serve well, to make sure you guys know about our products and how to best serve your clients.
Yep. So every now and then, as a travel advisor, I will mention or say something along the lines to my clients that we have fantastic support. So if like something goes sideways, or like we need extra little tidbits of information, like while we're in the planning process or whatever it is, We have fantastic people behind us to support us in that so we can serve our clients well. And Joseph is one of those people. And this is the first time, by the way, that I've ever had a supplier on Travel Tips Tuesday in almost 200 episodes. So,
What?
yeah, it's
I
amazing, but
thought this was
it's,
the first time you had a Star Wars hat behind you.
yeah, no, I mean, that's, this is maybe the third time for that, but
Okay. Are you serious? Who do you normally have?
so normally sometimes it's just me. Sometimes we have in the past we've also had guests on. I've had a friend of mine during the pandemic. We had a lot of guests on. So if you want to scroll backwards to
Let's make this a
2020,
regular occurrence.
do what?
Let's make this be a
Yeah,
regular occurrence. Maybe
would love
your
to.
favorite travel supplier on your podcast.
Yeah, I've had friends that are Disney cast members on. I've had friends that, one friend that's a former Disney Imagineer on. I've had other podcasters on in the past. So
Wow.
you're in good company. It's just been a minute. I'm trying to get back to having more people on, and I think I'm going to, in the words of my beloved fellow travel agent at Travelmation, Christian Dumont, I want to give the people what they want. So we got to. He's going off screen. Don't quite know what's going. There it is. That's him right
Right.
there.
Yeah, I know of whom you
Yes.
speak. I keep
Yes.
his signed photo.
Yeah.
Christian, you better freaking be
See,
watching tonight. You better
I,
tell him this, whatever, minute 8. I
I
pulled it
I
out.
don't
It's
have one
right
of
over there,
those
right next to my daughter.
because,
There's only 2 things on that magnetic board: my daughter and Christian.
hey, you know what?
Give
That's
the people what they want. Let's do it.
got
Let's talk all inclusives, man. Let's give them
got
what
to.
they want.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So, um, again, just kind of throwing it out there for somebody that's never been to one. I didn't go to my never been to one. I didn't go to my first all inclusive resort until, gosh, probably four years ago, maybe.
Hmm.
And it was all very new to me. Um, so like, who do you like? What is it? Who do you think it's perfect for?
Yeah.
Just kind of give us a casting a wide net here.
Yeah, so I just redid my list today just because I knew I'd get on here to talk about all inclusives, and I updated to make sure I had them all the newer ones I've been to. But I have been to John basically in the last about 7 years. I've been to 110 all inclusives. I either stayed at or done a long tour at. So I'm not even counting the ones I drove by or just maybe even walked kind of down the beach and looked at. Don't count
Yeah,
them. So I love the all-inclusive world. And when I was a travel advisor, this is the majority of what I even sold because I honestly believe it's for everyone.
sure,
There is an all-inclusive for everyone. If it be a couple getting away, just to get away from the family and the stresses and go have a party scene, they could go do that. They can go in
sure,
the chill out scene. Um, it could be families wanting to reconnect. It could be multi-generational families getting together. It could be the bachelorette party, the bachelor party. It could be the destination wedding. It could be the corporate group. All of those things you kind of mentioned even at the beginning. It's for those people, but ultimately it's for those that want to go on a vacation, not necessarily a trip.
right,
If that makes sense. Like if you go on a trip, like you're going to go and explore maybe more. You're
sure,
going to go see Europe. You're going to go even on a cruise. Like cruising, I think, is a trip. You're going to go and check out these different locations. They're going to go on the ship and do all the different activities on the ship.
right,
Many all inclusives are very much like I just want to go on vacation. I don't want to make any decisions. So the biggest decision you should have to make is hammock or lounger. Swimming pool or beach, and then maybe you go on an excursion or something like that. Like
yeah,
we have some great excursions at a lot of our locations, but that's usually not the main thing you're there for. You're going there to just be with the people you're there with, and to explore just that freedom of a quote unquote vacation
yeah,
together.
yeah. You're unplugging. You're not having to worry about. I mean, when you go to all inclusive resorts, there are activities. It's not about just showing up and eating and sitting by the pool and going back to your room and going to
Yourself,
sleep
but sure.
and repeating. But yeah, you could absolutely do that if you wanted to, and there are a lot of people that do, which is fine. Sometimes super busy people, we need to do that.
You just want to
But
grab a book, sit by the pool,
yeah,
and chill out. Or even
yep,
if like I just was with my 6-year-old. We have 3 kids in their 20s. They're all married or getting married, and then we have a 6-year-old. almost 6 year old. We went with her just last couple weeks ago in March, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go into parent mode. Am I even gonna get a break? But even that, it was just like, there's a couple other kids over there. She's playing with them at the pool. I'm gonna sit and
Right.
just chill for a little while. There's the amazing kids club. She's gonna go, and I'm gonna go down by the beach and just have a relaxing time with my wife. Um, there's those experiences that you have, and
Sure.
yes, a lot of them, especially now. I mean, some of these all inclusives are over the top with their entertainment that they might have, or activities going on during the
Right.
whole day, like yoga in the pool or jazzercising, or
Sure.
they sometimes they'll roll up the big mats that go out on the pools and they'll see how far people can run on those things and just do that. Or I was at, it has to do with food, but I think it's an activity, John. The one I
Yeah.
was just at Dreams
Yeah.
Vista, the Tuesday I was there, they rolled out the biggest tuna on ice. They carted this
Yeah.
thing out, rolled it around, and then they brought all their chefs out and they butchered this tuna. I mean, they had it gutted beforehand, but they butchered it off the bone, and then they did every possible sushi thing to this tuna,
Sure.
and it was an event. And we're there then just eating and go, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
that part of the.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like,
Yeah.
there's those things happening. But the main point of it is I always think is just to relax. Like
Sure.
I don't need to worry about what I'm going to do tonight. Like you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, it's karaoke at 10:30. Do I want to go or not? Maybe. Um, the really cool show that's going on. But a lot of these new ones have speakeasies in them. They have
Mm-hmm.
like a more adult only bar areas, so the adults can kind of go if the kids are in the club, or those types of things. So lots of things going on with all
Yeah.
inclusives.
Yeah. Absolutely. One thing that, and by the way, I want to apologize for your name being misspelled to everybody. I fixed it um, for you.
That's fun.
So, so
It's
but
Phelan as in not succeeding.
do what?
So it's pronounced Phelan as in not succeeding. So there you
There
go.
you go.
You can always get it wrong.
One of the things that I think comes up on occasion in discussions with folks about all inclusive travel is that when we think all inclusive, it's an out of the country trip for people that are in the states. Yes, there are all inclusive resorts in the U.S., but typically they're at a price point that the average family usually can't afford.
Yeah, I mean there
Um,
really isn't too many all inclusive because of the
yeah,
price point of that. I mean, obviously, if
it's
you have a lot of money, anything's all inclusive.
yeah,
But there is no all inclusives in
sure,
Hawaii.
yep,
There's no, it's Mexico, the Caribbean. There's actually
mm-hmm.
starting to get into Europe with
Yeah,
Spain and
yeah,
Portugal. You're seeing some all inclusive products there, and then the islands,
mm-hmm.
Jamaica down to Aruba, uh,
So
St. Lucia.
for people that want to maybe they want to experience the destination a little bit. I
Hmm.
think there's sort of a stereotype that an all inclusive trip is just like kind of like we were saying towards the beginning of like sitting by the pool
Yep.
and sipping on mai tais and margaritas or whatever your poison is and reading a book but not really and then maybe going to a karaoke or dance party or seeing some sort of show or
Yeah.
something. But how do you see, and this is kind of something that I hadn't planned to really talk about, but I think it's important for people that are looking for more of an experience. How do you see, maybe in some of your experience, if there's a specific instance, culture represented
Yeah.
of these areas, like on resort? Like, what are maybe some good instances of that happening for people that are looking for that, for looking to connect with the place that they're going, and not just saying indulging the whole time?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you're going to have your workers at these places are going to be
Sure.
from that culture. So there's always that interaction that you can have with the workers based on where you're going. Like if you're in Jamaica, there's always going to be activities at night that are reggae based or
Right.
cultural based with that. So even on site, you're going to get that. You're going to get the tuna coming. This is the tuna pulled out from the water of the Gulf of Mexico or the
Right.
Caribbean. So you're going to get those cultural. And then it's a matter of from there, really knowing where you're at. So if you're super north, like let's say Cancun, you're
Hmm.
super north of Cancun with the most amazing beaches of the Playa Mujeres, and you're at the Secrets Playa Blanca. That's quite a distance to
Oh yeah.
get down to get on a ferry to go over to Isla Mujeres, which is an amazing little island where you can get a golf cart and just drive around again, see culture, see some Mayan ruins, see the iguanas, drive around little neighborhoods in your golf cart. Um, that might be a little bit more. But then if you're at like the Grand Fiesta Americana, if you're staying there, you just walk to the ferry, or Dreams Vista, you're just walking to the ferry and going across to experience that culture. So you don't want to be like way up there and go, oh man, let's go to cenote, which is those underwater
Yeah,
sinkhole, like amazing like experiences. You better be down in the Mayan Riviera. So you want to work with a travel advisor, making sure you're close to. So some of those are just literally across the street. Sometimes you're getting a golf cart, or you're getting a
sure.
shuttle from the resort to go across, to experience that culture. Many resorts actually even have, especially in the Caribbean, or in Cancun area in the Mayan Riviera, you have the ruins that are very close to some of those resorts. And then if you flip over, maybe Puerto Vallarta, John, which is a great, it's in Mexico still.
Mm-hmm.
On the west coast, over there, there's the resorts are beautiful. The beaches are a little different, so you got to know that. It's a west coast beach, but the city of Puerto Vallarta is such a wonderful city to just walk around. Like that's a great. You want to really jump into the city, and it's not a Disney city. It's not fake. It's
Yeah.
it's really real. And you really can walk around it and experience that. Or if you're going to Cabo San Lucas, you got the marina and the wharf in Cabo, but you also can go over to San Jose del Cabo, which
Mm-hmm.
is actually closer to the airport, which most people don't ever go there. But it's really close to a lot of all inclusives there, like a 10-minute ride. Or even I've been at all inclusives. I've just walked to the downtown and experienced just the local culture. And again, these towns are not made up for tourists. They're like this is where the locals are and where the locals are living and breathing and doing their shops, and just a great experience that way. I know, like in Aruba, we have multiple all inclusives there, and we represent multiple brands of all
Sure.
inclusives. You have like you have the Star, and you have a Hilton, you have a Riu, and you have the new Secrets coming in Aruba. Those are just 4 resorts there, and
Mm-hmm.
they're there. They want you to go into the culture. So a lot of times
Sure.
they'll set them up so you're even experiencing the restaurants in town and experiencing the culture that's happening, in the city. So lots of great opportunity to not just sit and drink your mai tai by the pool. So go out and experience, like if you're in Jamaica and you're at one of the couples resorts there, and they
Mm-hmm.
have the catamaran ride
Yeah.
that's for free. Included with a glass bottom boat, and go snorkeling. They just have those, you can go sign up, go out and go snorkeling
Yeah.
into this most beautiful water. So you're experiencing again the things that are around you.
Sure. Sure.
I always do caveat for all this. I always make sure you're doing this with an authorized excursion company
Absolutely.
or
Yeah.
going with the resort. Again, don't this Mexico is not the place for you to be getting an Uber. You want
Yeah.
to work with your travel advisor like you, and make sure you're working with. We use Amstar for our transfers and
Mm-hmm.
our excursions. So it's a great company. They're just there for you, and they're going to get you the spot, take care of you, and get you back. Because again, you don't want to have that 1 out of 1 million thing happen to you, which those are really far and few between. But you don't want it to be you.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's very helpful. Thank you. One other question I want to ask. So, one of my favorite groups or types of clients to work with are first time travelers to
Mhm.
fill in the blank destination, because I think there's sort of a mystery and anticipation present and excitement present that you may not um, be able to experience or again.
Yeah,
So, what are maybe some first time all inclusive tips, say for families traveling with kids, that you
yeah.
would want to make sure people are aware of going into um, an AI experience?
Yeah. First of all, and with any travel overseas, making sure you work with an advisor that knows, like, okay, when you go to Jamaica, you got to fill out this form. It's usually online, or the Dominican Republic. You got to
Yep.
fill out this form before you get there. So that's with any travel. But just some small little tips. Again, some of these might be translated for multiple of things you might do for cruising or anything.
Hmm.
Um, I love making sure you wear kind of your hometown team garb. So if you're from Minnesota, you're wearing your Minnesota Twins cap. So it immediately just gets you into conversations with people, which is
Sure.
beautiful. Bringing the mug, with you. This was my old business here. We bring this, and like you have that with you. So when you get your drink, they'll put it in the plastic cup sometimes if
Yep.
you're at the pool, but a lot of times you just be like, hey, can I get 2 of those? Can I make them a double? And you get them, you just dump them in your thing, put the cap on it, and you save the ice, keeps it cold. You're good to go. Super like underrated tip. Another
No,
tip.
no, 100%. Because like I mean, it's warm outside. Like the
Yep.
ice will melt fast. So
Yep.
it's a great idea.
So bringing that is worth it. Honestly, this is a super bad tip, but do it anyway. This is space.
Hmm.
My socks clean, of course. I always go in here, so I'm not I'm saving space. Like people
Yes.
way overpack when they go to all
Yeah.
inclusives. Like
Yeah.
I have two. If I'm like there 6 nights, John, I have two dress shirts, one pair of pants, three swim shorts, and like one or two other pairs of shorts, and
Yep.
that's about it. Like I'm wearing those
Yeah.
socks. I put them on at night. I take them off for like you're in flip flops in your shorts, your t-shirt. You're good to go. So don't overpack. Don't overthink that part of it. But I'll just bring a pair of pants. That is a thing. A lot of times when you go to the nicer restaurants, they
Yeah.
want you to have pants.
It's good to
Um,
have pants when you travel in
it's just
general.
good. Like, come on,
Yeah.
don't be savages. Like, you're on vacation. Dress up. Have a pair of pants.
There are
Um,
resorts for those kinds of things if you're looking for that experience, but we can talk about that on a different episode.
That's a whole nother episode,
This
which
is
we
I'm
can have
trying.
those in our portfolio also, John.
Yes,
Um,
we're trying to focus on family travel tonight, but no,
yeah,
I
and then honestly, just being relaxed, like
yeah.
knowing when you go, again, about what the kids club requirements are, what time they are. Kind of have a plan, and your own family. Like our family's always like we get up, we do breakfast, we get to the
Hmm.
pool, we do pool time with the family, and then by
Yep.
lunchtime it's like okay, then that's when the kids like we eat, and then the kids kind of go do their
Yep.
thing like in the kids club, and then we kind of do our thing, and so you having that schedule laid out for you. So I mean, those are a couple little. I mean, nothing mind boggling as far as with kids, but the reality is a lot of these resorts. There's so much to do for your families, and I will just tell you, especially if it's your first time, your
Hmm.
kids will be better than you. Like you're freaking out as a parent. Oh my God, they're not gonna be able to do without the iPad, and they're not gonna be
Yep.
able to phone. Oh my gosh, I'll just
Yep.
tell you. And I've had kids, when the technology just came out, and now I still have them. Um, and every time we go on these trips, it's kind of like we're putting our phones away, we're putting our tech away.
Yep.
Might get a little pre-dinner, like, hey, we're getting ready, just kind of chill moment. And
Yeah.
usually we throw on the TV, and my daughter loves to listen to the Spanish cartoons, so like that's our tech. They are way better off. They will disconnect way more than you. They're okay with a pool. You don't
Hmm.
need to go. There are some amazing resorts with so many things going on.
There
Like
are.
like yes, if you have the resources to go do that, go do it. But if your budget's a little bit less and you don't have those big things and there's really nice pools and a beach, I guarantee you your kids will not get bored.
Yeah, so like that's a great point. So most of the all-inclusive resorts I've been to so far have been adults or couples only, but I've been to a few that are more family oriented. And one of the things I've noticed is that kids generally don't have their like devices out.
Nope.
Like as much as you may see like back home or whatever.
Yep.
Like there's just not a
Nope.
desire to. They're making new friends. Like
Yep.
you said, they're going to the clubs. They're hanging out at the water parks on resort. They're doing a number of things. Like there's a very good possibility that you may only see your kids at meal times, like when you go with your family, right?
Yep.
So you want to plan and have those moments together, but also be like go into it with this mentality of okay, like uh, your kids they're in a safe place, they're going to be
Yep.
fed, they're going to be taken care of, they can kind of of course based on like age appropriate
Yeah.
decisions and all that kind of stuff, but I think thinking about these kinds of trips from a parent perspective are huge
Can I
because
say this here too,
yeah,
John?
please.
And this is no bash on Disney because I think Disney's amazing. It really is the
Sure.
gateway drug to travel. Um, but at Disney, you have to say no a lot of times.
Yeah,
You have
well, I
to
mean,
know your
yeah.
kids. You have to say, no, we can't go on that ride. We have to wait for
Yeah.
this. No, we can't do that. Or, geez, we
Yep.
can't buy. Like there's like, again, no bash on it. It's an amazing place. Get there if you can. I'll just tell you this: at an all-inclusive resort, you'll have a week or how many days you're there where you never have to say no. And
Yep.
not that you're quote unquote spoiling your kids, but there is a sense of just going, can I have another scoop of ice cream? Absolutely. You
Yep.
know, can I get that virgin strawberry daiquiri? Can I switch to peach now? Can I go to mango? Yep, 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 yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay, hey, you're getting too close to those other adults down there. Like, I'm going to say no. Come on, get back this way a little bit. Stop bothering them. Like, you're saying no for those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
But like, can I not eat this? Can I try something else? Absolutely. Let's go try it.
Sure.
It's a week as a parent where you never have to say no.
Yep.
And it's a such a great experience.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, I think there are many directions that we could take this conversation
Let's go.
about all inclusive resorts, and I really like the idea. Circling back to the beginning of making this a regular thing, um, because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to open our minds to make sure that people are prepared to have a great experience. And I'll confess, I have not taken my own children to an all inclusive resort yet. It is on the
Have
list.
you cruised with them?
No, I've cruised with one of them. I did
Okay.
last year, but not all together. So, been to Disney with them and that kind of thing because it's just more
How
realistic.
it is to say no.
Do what?
You know how it is to say no.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah, but
go
you
take
have a
them.
great experience, right? It's not like it's a bad experience. It's just like
Yeah,
it's just different.
it's a different experience. It will allow you to connect with if your parents listen to this, it will allow you to connect with your family in ways that maybe you couldn't necessarily plan for. And I'm not
Yeah,
talking about like the organized activities and dinners, but more so probably those in the margin moments that you can't always
yeah.
plan for. Um,
If John, the parents get off their tech.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's
we're
very
so worried
true.
about our kids all the time, but
Yep.
it's the parents. They want to do the thing like,
Yep.
and it's I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
Like when your 5-year-old looks at you and says, "Hey, Dad, can you put your phone away?" Like, put your phone away. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that allows you that space, to do that there, with your family, with your kids. And again, all inclusives is a great. And I love cruising too. I've been cruises with my kids.
Yep.
Again, that's a little bit more of an organization. Like, oh my gosh, like, are we waking up in the morning? We got to get off. We got to do it.
Hmm.
Like, there's a more thoughtfulness that has to happen. And obviously, the staterooms are way smaller. I mean,
Sure.
these new all inclusives that are coming out, the rooms are 10 times bigger than
Yeah.
a lot of these cruise ships. So you
Absolutely.
get the space. You don't have to worry about that. Um, yeah,
It's
but
also it's also easier to like I feel like with all inclusives to travel to an all inclusive resort with a larger family. So like,
oh
if you've got more than two kids and
yeah,
you need that fifth bed or sixth bed, whatever the case is, I just feel like it's a little bit easier
yes,
to look at options, I guess, and
yeah,
opportunities because not knocking cruise lines at all. I mean, they provide a wonderful experience, but most of
absolutely,
their staterooms you're looking at for staterooms of 2, 3, or 4 people. You get any more than that, and it's even hard to find connecting rooms sometimes. But
yeah,
there are several resorts that have family suites and rooms that'll sleep 5 and all sorts of So
yeah.
there's a lot of great options out there. So
And
um,
like cruising, so if your clients are into cruising, the all-inclusive world has a spot for everyone.
yeah,
So I mean, there's cruise lines, and even when you get into the cruise lines, there's cruise ships inside of the cruise lines that have different experiences. It's the same type of world in all-inclusive. So it's as you're thinking about it as a client, you're going to have a lot of the same experiences.
yeah,
Um, and again, not every brand is exactly the same. Again, I want to put a little fear into your people listening that you have to use a travel advisor to know that when you go to an Iberostar, which are all great,
right.
but there's levels of those, and so you have to know the nuances of, okay, if I go to this one, I can have access to that one, but if I go to this one, I can't have access to that one, and this one I got to make dinner reservations at, and that one I don't. And there are those types of things going on. We never did mention most all inclusives are truly all inclusive.
Yep.
Unlike again maybe a cruise ship or obviously the amusement park world. I mean, it's food, it's drink, it's entertainment. You should be able to always go to a all inclusive and never leave paying anything.
Yep.
That's kind of hard to do on some other trips. So
Hmm.
your cost is up front. The beauty of
Can
all
be.
inclusive, again, you're paid for most of your trip. 3 months in advance, and you forgot what it was even costing. So you're going to experience it, different, and then you leave. Now, if you're doing a spa treatment or something upgraded, you're going to have an expense. But all of the restaurants are usually
Yep.
always open. There might be one that's like you have to make a reservations for, but you don't have to pay for it. So that's a great thing about the all-inclusive world. Again, if you go with multi-generations, like you were saying,
Right.
having even the space to sit down, in some of the larger banquet halls to
Right.
to have a meal together, like they're set up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great tips, great thoughts, and I wish we had more time to dig
Well,
into
you don't have to wish, John, because remember we're
this.
quarterly now. I don't know if you
We're
know. I think
quarterly,
we
yes. This
tend
is
to deal with my agent and your booking agent off the site. I already called my assistant over here, and it's already hooked up.
outstanding. Sounds great. Thank you, Joseph, for taking the time,
Thank
and thank
you. And again, everybody that's listening, some of you I know are travel agents, but you want to make sure you're working with a travel advisor like
absolutely.
John, and working with companies like ALGV and a company like the other ones. You're working with your Disney reps, you're working with your
Yep,
cruise lines, and we're his go-to for all of the land and air products and putting those packages together for you.
absolutely, absolutely. So if you want to reach out to me about any questions about if you happen to travel all inclusive stuff, you can find my info at travelmationjohn.com. My little landing page, trip reviews, all sorts of helpful links and things that are there. So thank you again, Joseph, for hanging out with us for a bit, and can't wait to see you next time around.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Bye.
All right. See you.